Hey guys, welcome to my adoption and foster care story. This is something that I haven't really talked about on this channel because I just feel like everybody kind of knows that I'm adopted because most of my subscribers actually came from Crazy Middles, my family's channel, and it's a widely known fact there that I am adopted, but some of you aren't from there and don't know, so I would like to share my story on this channel now because it's my story. This is my channel. You guys get it? You get it? Okay, cool. So I would like to reiterate that when I talk about my biological parents, I will be saying biological dad or biological mom. And when I say mom and dad, I am talking about Shelly and Jared, the people who adopted me, because they are my mom and dad. So now that we got that out of the way, my story starts on May 20th, 2002. That is the day that I was born. I was brought into this world, hello. And at this point, I have an older brother who's about like 2 years older than me, I think. And then my younger, beautiful sister Elizabeth was born in 2003, so like a year and a half later. This next part, I had no clue happened, but I think I said in an earlier video that I had reconnected with some of my biological family, and when I say some, I mean very, very few, on my biological dad's side. And they have kind of helped me, you know, put in the pieces of the puzzle because I was really little and I don't remember this part actually at all. So there was we're gonna call it an incident. There was an incident between my sister Elizabeth and my biological mother when Elizabeth was a baby. Basically, Elizabeth was dropped, I don't know where and I don't know what happened, but it was really, really bad, and CPS had to get involved, so that kind of puts into perspective, you know, how bad it actually was. And that is the first time I was in foster care. So Elizabeth and I were together, but unfortunately our brother Cody was separated from us, and we were all really little. Like I said, I don't remember this. I just know that I went to a group home with my sister. And at that point, both sides of my biological mom's family and my biological dad's family came together and had a big family meeting, and they were all basically, they just were like, who's gonna take them because they cannot be in this situation longer than they need to. And nobody was really in the right, you know, financial situation, personal life situation to take in 3 rowdy, growing children. And my maternal grandparents actually stepped up, and they were not in the right financial situation. I know this now. They weren't in the right financial situation at all to take us, but they found it in their hearts to, and I'm so, so, so grateful for them. They're definitely still in my life, and I wouldn't have it any other way, but for that, I am so grateful for them. And we all, me, Cody, and Elizabeth went to my maternal grandparents' house, and I have the best memories in that house. It is so fun. But we stayed there for, I think, a few years, and then I'm pretty sure my biological father was in prison and he got out, or he cleaned up his life or something. Anyways, but he was eligible to get us back, and he did. So that day was really, really sad. I remember crying a lot because I was gonna miss my grandma. But I also was really little and was really happy because I didn't know what was going on. So I was really happy that, you know, my biological dad got custody again. Life with him was not stable at all. We never ever had like a stable living place. He was always getting fired or getting arrested, and so we'd have to move from apartment to apartment. I just remember moving a lot and going to a lot of different schools. We even at one point ended up at his foster parents' house, like when he was little. So yeah, but I do have good memories at that house. They were really nice people, and they had like 20, this has nothing to do with the story, but they had like 20 dogs, and I don't know the specific, like that's not an exaggeration, but I don't know the specific dog breed, but it was the one from Beethoven, and he was the biggest, fluffiest dog I had ever seen. And so we'd watch all the Beethoven movies in the basement with the dog right there. And it was really, really fun. I have good memories there. But like I said, we bounced around and we ended up at this point, we ended up at his mom's house. So my paternal grandma's house and her boyfriend. And like I said, he was in foster care, and so obviously like that wasn't a good situation to put us in, but I don't know. And eventually, because of, you know, my biological dad's anger issues and my grandma's boyfriend, there was conflict between them and they got in a really, really big fight. I remember seeing that, and they technically kicked my dad out, my biological dad. And I remember him telling us that he was gonna come back for us once he got a job and an apartment, and once he got his life stable, he was going to come back for us. And then he never did. That put us in a really, really bad situation, like a really bad situation. By this time, I'm in 3rd grade, and Cody goes to school, my older brother Cody, goes to school with a bloody ear. My paternal grandma had punched him in the ear really bad, and he actually still can't really hear out of that ear. So anyways, and when he got to school, the front office finally had enough evidence. They had known something was going on and that our home life wasn't very good. We would come to school in the most smelly clothes. Our paternal grandma did not believe that we deserved clean clothes, and I literally can't make this up. So we would always smell, and they smoked in the house, and so our clothes reeked of cigarette smoke, and it was really bad. And so finally they had enough evidence to call CPS, and I was just chilling in my classroom and I get a call. Well, my teacher gets a call and she's like, Lacey, you gotta go to the principal's office. And I was like, shoot. I've always been like the goody two-shoes. I was always trying to impress people, never trying to make, you know, any trouble. And so I was like, what the heck did I do? I don't know what I did. I was so scared. I walk into the principal's office. The principal's not even in there. It's some random lady and a police officer. And I was like, okay, so now what did I do? Like, I broke the law or something. That's the first thing that went through my third grade brain. It was a caseworker, and she sat me down and, you know, asked me about my home life, and I told her about my home life, and she was like, yeah, so, I mean, I don't remember her exact words, but that's when she was like, yes, we are going to place you in a different home, and you're going into foster care. And at this point, they had already interviewed Cody, and Lizzie was on a field trip. Like, she wasn't even at school. And so, yeah, but they ended up interviewing her later. Anyways, so they picked us up from school and took us to this CPS building, like the office, and they gave us candy bars, which was cool. And it was basically just us saying, please don't separate us, because we were little, we were scared. And that is when my mom gets a phone call from the CPS caseworker and is like, hey, I have a something-year-old boy. So they were trying to place Cody with my parents. And if you know anything about my parents, their mission is to reunite sibling groups. So at this point, they were like, no, like, I'm sorry, but we're really only looking for sibling groups, so we're gonna have to, you know, pass, basically. That sounds really horrible, but I promise it's not like that. And that was that. And they had already found a home for Lizzie, and so they were trying to find one for me and Cody. And I don't know how much time passed, but it wasn't that much time. It was in the same day. They called her again, and they were like, wait, he has 2 sisters. And at that point, she was like, okay, great, we will take them. And that is when I meet my parents. And at first, I was really nervous, obviously, meeting 2 complete strangers who could potentially, you know, be a part of your life for the rest of your life. I didn't really, you know, have any, not hopes of going back, but like, my childhood was never stable, and so I finally had stability, and I loved that. And the night that we went to their house, they were actually having this big, huge party the next day with all of their family, both sides, my mom's side and my dad's side, and so I got to meet the whole family. Me, Cody, and Lizzie got to meet the whole family on the second day that we were there. It was pretty crazy. It was very overwhelming, but it was so much fun. I got to meet all my cousins. So like I said, at that point, I was in 3rd grade, and then in 5th grade is where the magic finally happens, and I was adopted with Cody and Lizzie, and that was the best day of my life. It was May 6th. I forgot the year. I don't remember. All I know is I was in 5th grade. But yeah, so that is my story. It really feels like I've lived 2 lives. I know that I was little for a lot of everything, all of like the really, really sad stuff. But it feels like that's the only way I can explain it, is that I've lived 2 lives. And I'm so, so, so blessed to have my parents and my family. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is a short video, but I just wanted to tell you guys my story. And yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!